All right. Hello. Welcome, everyone. GM, and thank you for joining us today. Today, we're going to go over the new Horizen website and branding with the team that basically made it all happen. So, hopefully, by now, many of you have noticed that Horizen has a new look and feel, a new website, new branding, and we wanted to provide the community an opportunity to learn, exactly why we made some of the choices that we made, the direction that we're going in, and just kind of go a little behind the scenes into this big upgrade. So to start things off, we'll just do brief intros. So my name's Brian. I'm a marketing manager at Horizen Labs. Been with the team for around 3 years now, and I'll pass it over to Linda.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So my name is Linda, and I've been with Horizon since the beginning. I think it was 2017. So I've seen it all from Zencash to Horizon. And as a graphic designer, I've been more than 10 years. Yes, I'm that old. And I worked with quite a few companies in Web3. You might know Launch Code Capital. Then we have Pickle Finance, Outerlands, G20, and of course, with Horizon Labs, and ZK Verify. So yeah, I've been very blessed to be with Horizon for such a long time, and I'm very glad they haven't got rid of me yet. So I'm doing something right. Yeah, and I will pass to Marco.
Hey guys, so yeah, like Linda, I've been part of the community since 2017, but I basically joined the team in 2018, and yeah, it's been a real roller coaster, like all the ups and downs. Had multiple roles, like started off as a graphic designer, also did some animation and UI animations, then transitioned to a UX UI role, as well as a little bit of a research role for the product team. So yeah, Dom.
Hey guys, product manager. I've been working for Horizon Labs for I think 2.5 years now. Initially was more focused on building decentralized applications, but now I am the lead on building out the protocol for Horizon 2. I'm very bullish on what we're building and super happy to explain the branding concept as well as kind of how we arrived at uh, what we delivered last week.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. And Dom, I'll kind of keep it with you to get us started. So, before we kind of dive into the new website and the new branding, Horizon is kind of in the middle of a huge upgrade transformation to Horizon 2.0, and I was hoping if you could just give us a brief kind of summary of what we're doing as part of this upgrade, kind of where we are in the development process, and what's coming next on the roadmap.
Yeah, so Horizon was originally a private, like privacy token, um, and we have always really been using ZK technology in and seeing its value from a blockchain context, as well as just its value in general. Within the last year or two, ZK has uh, becoming more mainstream. One, because of the tech itself has become easier to use, so it makes it a little bit more available to improve tech. Um, and two, because it's being used to scale blockchain essentially. Um, it's also a technology used for protecting, information, privacy, data, that sort of thing. So, what we wanted to kind of do is basically bring Horizon to a new level, right? Not just focusing on how we could protect user data when transferring value between each other, but it could be used for a lot of other purposes. And from an application standpoint, we wanted to give developers essentially the freedom to create whatever type of application that they would need that leverages the full power of ZK, whereas many blockchains out there are quite limited in doing so. We wanted to kind of build something that enabled greater possibilities.
Very interesting. Thank you for kind of walking us through that. And now I wanted to dive in a bit to the new branding, the new website. And I figured a good place to start is Linda and Marko. I know you both have been with the project for quite a long time and have seen a lot of transformations with the brand, with the design, launching as Zencash, moving to Horizen, new logos, new colors. What kind of excites you both? And maybe we'll start with Linda about where the new brand is now compared to where it's been in the past, the different names, the different products, the different colors.
Just to start with, it's the logo, which I'm very happy that we are still keeping it. For Horizen, I love it. I think it's beautiful, it's scalable, it works across all the platforms, and that's what we want from the logo. So I'm very happy we're staying with that. And also, that way we are keeping the brand recognition, which is very, very important. And I do love that we are finally kind of like switched into a light theme. And actually, like, it just feels a little bit airier and better and approachable and friendlier. Because I think, in the past, we kind of wanted to speak to developers, and we thought it's always been dark. Their screens are dark, the codes are, green, and all this matrix. And we finally kind of like broke the pattern, and we decided, what? It's better to have lighter colors, and I love that. And I love that we're using yellow because it's not as utilized in the Web3 as other colors. Like everybody just jumped into purple at one point, and purple was everywhere. But I think yellow is the color we can actually own, and I think it's going to be a great brand and recognition for the Horizen in the future as well. And also, one more thing is that I love that we cut out all the noise. So we are focusing on the messaging. We're focusing on the people we're talking to, and we want them to. We want to provide resources, guidance. We want to explain everything. We don't need all these like little characters or noise or colors or everything into your face to almost like distract for what is more important. So I love that. So I think with this brand, we didn't kind of like create a totally new brand. We just refined it. We refined it to the every detail. Everything we did was for the reason. We did a lot of research. These guys, Dom and Marko, they did a lot of user research. I did, of course, visual research on how things are evolving in the Web3. But overall, the project it was focused, it was dedicated. Everybody dedicated their time to do so much work behind this brand. And I'm really happy where it is now. So yeah, I'll pass it to Marko now because I can talk hours about this.
Yeah, well, just like plainly, I'm really biased towards yellow. I really love the color. I think it's fairly like impactful, but still neutral enough. So it's not like too masculine or too feminine. It's just like the right balance. As well as like I'm really happy like this time. So as I said, I've been with the team for a very long time, and we had like a couple of these rebrands exercises, and I think this one was like the most in-depth one we ever did, and I'm really happy with that. We did kind of like at the moment the direction to go light and go yellow seemed like a really risky and bold decision. And right now, I think we're really happy with how it turned out, and the community is happy as well. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much. It's always interesting to get a different perspective on this. And I guess the next one I'll kind of pass over to Dom. Dom, as being the product lead for Horizen during this big transformation, why was now kind of the best time to take a look at the brands, take a look at the colors, and kind of move forward with this update and refresh to the Horizen brand?
Yeah, so essentially, I would say the main reason is because the internal technology is going to be changing quite a bit, and user interaction with that technology is going to be changing. Not only that, the uh, the vision for the protocol is, and it has basically a different direction. So in doing that, product management is the same everywhere. Really, the goal is really the same everywhere. It's you're building something that you're building it for the user, right? So that was a big part of the research that we did, as who would be possibly be the potential users, both from like a B2B perspective, but also like a B2C perspective, like the end users. Who are they going to be? Who are they going to be? The users that need to build. Our goal is to build a protocol for them, right? And part of that too was also about maintaining our identity. I would say another secondary reason I would say is that the crypto industry changed quite a bit since the first branding was done for Horizen. So it's a different audience. I think Horizen's previous branding concept uh, took into account the users from 2017, let's say. And yeah, that was basically the reason why we wanted to do that. Well, we're also in a competitive space, so we wanted to be as impactful as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think the next question I'll pose to Linda. You kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but maybe you could walk us through kind of how you balance the need for like a brand refreshment or refinement with the importance of maintaining that brand recognition and consistency that you mentioned earlier. And also, if you could maybe walk us through some of the steps of the process when, approaching kind of this update. I know that you use a lot of different tools and put together different wireframes and things for the team to review. So if you wouldn't mind kind of just walking us through that process, maybe some of the tools that you use to kind of showcase different options, and just kind of walk us through that process.
Yeah, of course. So let's start with the brand recognition and the rebranding itself. So I'm very careful when the companies in Web3 they love rebranding. They love doing things. Oh, this is a new trend. Let's do this. And I've seen it many times. We kind of like try to do it as well. We're like, okay, no, this doesn't work. So with this rebrand, we needed to find the right time for it. We knew the old brand doesn't work anymore. We knew the areas it doesn't work. As Dom mentioned, our target audience has changed as well. And as also he mentioned, brands have evolved, the Web3 have evolved, so we always have to keep up with all that. But also, of course, we can't lose our identity. But to evolve the brand is always good decision, but it has to be the right decision for that time. And so that's why the team came together. We of course had a discussion. Everybody voiced their thoughts, and then when we all decided, okay, we need an update, we really need to upgrade our brand for Horizen, then only then we started to look into all the research, all the what we could do, what is out there, of course looking at the trends, what is happening, how people receive it. So we spoke with the team, get some feedback, did the research on the side, on the other like competitors and other Web3 companies. So it took a long time to gather all the information to understand where we want to go and how we want to look, and also how we want to talk to the audience. So there's lots of work behind the scenes before it actually goes to any color exploration or any imagery and stuff like that. So there's lots of work involved. So we started with that, with research, feedback, potential directions for the brand, and we built upon that. So it's been taking quite a while to be where we are, but we did our best, and I think all the team members that were involved did a really good job, and I think this brand is really strong and will last. So, yeah. I hope I didn't miss any other questions. Is there something else I needed to answer?
No, that was great. That was great. Thank you so much. And you kind of touched on the next question that I had. So this one I'll direct to Marko, and then maybe pass over to Dom as well for any additional thoughts. So Marko, obviously research played a really big role in this new brand direction, and also just the website content, the website layout. I was hoping that you could kind of walk us through the process that you took in some of the research that you looked at, other brands, maybe even outside of the Web3 space, looking for, ideas, direction, things like that. I know a lot of research went into this and our website layout and how we got to where we are today. So I'd love to just learn a little bit more of kind of the process you followed on the research side, maybe some of the things that you were looking at that kind of impacted the decision to go this direction.
So yeah, it's I guess a pretty broad avenue of things that we looked at, because you can't just face it off like comparator research. So we need to take into account like the current user base, the user base we want to have, the future user base. You need to take into account stakeholder wants and needs. So a lot of like also comparator research, what's currently trendy in the industry, take everything into account, and then once you kind of like have all the information collected, then I guess the brand discussion actually starts, because you need to develop, as Linda mentioned, a couple of directions. You can take the safe route, and the safe route would be probably in this industry currently making it a dark theme with blue and purple, which is something in the industry that's currently really prevalent. And you could argue that's a good approach, but that's a safe approach. We kind of determined that we wanted something more bold and to be more distinguishable, and we just felt that it's time to be bold in this industry. And it was actually in the bottoms of the bear market, so right now things are turning, so it looks like it's going to be a good decision that we pivoted. What else can I say? That so once you take everything into account, and you create a couple of directions, and then you just mash opinions, talk about it, what's the desired approach. One thing also that we wanted to incorporate into our design is that we're a pretty technical team, and our product is pretty technical, but we took this a little bit abstract mathematical approach to our graphics and everything, but there's a balancing act where you need to make that appealing and user friendly as well. So I think we kind of nailed the balancing act of that, of being bold, of creating something new, something that's not currently in the space, something that portrays our product well. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out.
Yeah, Marko gave a very good explanation of all of that. Maybe I could add that, what we did is really generate a user profile to sort of start off with. And we wanted to know or make educated guesses of, what are the types of things that this user would be interested in. How do they like to read things, right? And we didn't I love research, but we didn't spend ages on it either. We had to kind of put in a good chunk of time and then start making decisions. But that's generally what we did. We started from that. And then we're like, okay, well, if this person likes to look at information this way, we even went very specifically towards how information is presented, how the flow of information is. And that's also tied into the messaging as well, which is also collaborative effort with the marketing team. So really nailing down your identity is a part of all of this as well. It influences the design. So that's something that we took into account as well. And then, we did, from a layout perspective, we did want to take a modern approach there. We weren't only influenced by crypto and Web3 products or protocols. We were looking at, a lot of different newer technology. We were also looking at protocols or products that are like adjacent to blockchain but not directly related, that are successful. So I think that also is the reason why it maybe looks different than has a little bit of a difference than most of the Web3 products. And the color almost came like as a final decision before everything else. And if I were to give my own opinion about the color, I think it is very bold and it does separate us quite a bit. So that's one of the things I really like about it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely interesting to kind of hear the background and hear all of the work that went into this, because a lot of work did go into it in the background. It was the culmination of months of work from multiple teams and multiple people within the team. So it's definitely exciting to kind of see it delivered. And the next question, I'll kind of start with Linda and then maybe pass over to Marko. As a designer, how does the balance of stakeholder feedback kind of impact your process or your decision making? Like, how do you kind of maintain your goals and your vision for the brand look while also handling maybe some resistance or pushback? Maybe some people don't want to go in the new direction. How do you kind of incorporate or handle stakeholder feedback with kind of pushing things forward to the end goal and vision that you have in mind?
That's a good question, and actually, it's been quite a journey, to be honest. Every time we want to make a change, there's always a pushback, and that's normal. And especially because we're changing from dark theme to light theme, some people didn't like yellow, some people preferred other colors and stuff like that. So the resistance always is there, but our main job was to actually almost not educate but explain why are we doing this, because every decision we make, it's based on something. It's not just like, oh, I like pink, let's use pink, right? It's not on our preferences, but what works for the company and for the community and users who are going to use our platform. So it's just normal to have some resistance for the change, and it's just normal. So we receive it, we talk about it, we try to explain. If it doesn't work, we try to find another way, right? So we have to all have to be on the same page. But to be honest, I'm very surprised how people received the yellow color, which was kind of bold in the beginning, and we're like, oh, we don't know, if the stakeholders will be happy with this. But it didn't take long for them to actually like it and be okay with it. And I think it's great from their side that they are accepting that and are open and actually listen to us and the reasoning behind it, which is great, because we all want the Horizen brand to succeed and grow and be the best we can possibly make it. So yeah, stakeholders feedback, pushbacks, they're very, very important. That sometimes also allows us to push our work a little bit further. Sometimes it makes us explore something we never thought of, because they're like, oh, how about this or that? And we're like, oh, okay. So it's always a challenge, but I think it just worked out this time very well, and I'm very happy that in the end nobody, came and killed us for the yellow color. So we're still alive. Yeah.
Oh, I can take a little bit more input, but yeah, not much to add, I guess. Yeah, the original reaction to the yellow was pretty. And just to expand on it, there was multiple shades of yellow that we tried to use in our branding, and we kind of settled on this. This one is really saturated and strong yellow. Originally, it was a lot more faded, and we got like a really strong pushback on that. And looking back at it, it's justified. Like you need to have like conflict of ideas. It almost needs to like be like heated at some points. That's the way I guess you get resolution and you get to a good product. And I think we got like in a really good place. And yeah, I feel like the community just loves it. That's like what the feedback initial is, and yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I would probably also say that, and this may help other teams out there that are, because stakeholder feedback is probably the most difficult part to kind of get through. I would say that like we actually did spend a good amount of time before any presentation. We had basically like a presentation before the presentation where we strategically were thinking about, um, if this person says this, what would our response be? And it's not to be like deceptive or anything like that, but it's really to kind of the whole point of like going back to like what Linda was saying is that you need to have a reason for why you chose something. And sometimes, us on the design team, we're moving really fast on our decision making. And we know why we made that decision, but we need to explain it, right? So being able to have reasons for all of that. The other thing that I would say too is like, um, you know, be open to criticism. I think is a big importance, and offer options and why you would choose one option over the other. If you dig your heels into just one scenario, you're probably opening up the floor for a bigger battle. I would say that's probably not necessary. And yeah, I mean, I think another tactic is maybe don't show too many people something before you actually present it to a team, because if everybody's excited about a new brand, right? So they want to hear what's going on, or just try and protect that a little bit before you could present it. I know it's always difficult, but like I think maybe what had happened too is like someone caught wind of yellow and then they were like worried about it. So but we handle it. It's like that kind of thing is going to happen, but I think that's a good strategy to keep, as well as is to kind of have a trusted team, and keep everything sort of protected. The other thing that I would say too is just kind of keeping that strategic mindset. One thing that Horizen and Horizen Labs does really well is that they give like a smaller team a lot of autonomy. So we're lucky in the sense that we were able to essentially kind of work amongst ourselves before we kind of brought it to a larger audience.
Very interesting. Yeah, thank you all for that perspective. As someone who's kind of involved in the process, but a little bit on the outside, I saw all of this happening, and it was very interesting to see how things kind of snowballed and how feedback impacts the directions and the decisions that we made to kind of get to where we are today, which is really exciting. I guess for this next one, I'll kind of ask to Linda. There's a lot going on in the kind of design world, branding. As you mentioned, a lot of brands often take on this brand refresh, revamp, or they want to pivot. how do you kind of keep up with all of the latest trends in the space, the design trends, what's hot, what everyone's trying to kind of implement, and how do you kind of, I guess, temper expectations as to not kind of copy all of these trends, but take them and make them our own and kind of apply our brand identity and vision to kind of what's hot or what's going on in the design world?
One good advice: don't copy the trends. Gosh, no, please don't. Trends go out of fashion very quickly. Okay, that was my first thing I wanted to say. So the way I follow all the new trends and what's hot, in the space is do lots of research. Follow lots of companies, lots of Web3, whoever builds on Web3. Also looking at their brands, how they do, how they evolve their brands as well. So I do lots of reading, lots of blogs, lots of podcasts. I go and check their websites from time to time and see what's changed, what have they done. And regarding to trends, yes, there are lots of trends, but you have to focus on the trends that you think is actually good to follow. For example, one good trend is to simplify the websites and cut out the noise at this moment. I've seen lots of companies have done that, which is a really good trend because we don't want to shout at everybody's faces with lots of visuals, images, little people walking and all the characters and stuff like that. And when the information is actually like almost secondary, we want the information because it's very like technical space. We want the information to be in the front. So that's a really good trend. And that's probably going to last longer than a month. But if somebody is starting to use purple, and lots of companies start to use purple everywhere, please don't do it. Right? So that's more like a preference kind of thing. So it depends on what kind of trends you are looking at. Some are good, some will change in a month's time, some will last really long, and some are just, pop out and stuff like that. So I would even suggest, just look at the best things, look at the best user experiences, the good brands that, lasted for a really long time, and apply that to your brand and set the trends yourself and don't follow everybody else. So that would be my suggestion.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. And, we're kind of over the 30-minute mark here. So I think we'll kind of start wrapping things up and starting with Dom, I'd love to kind of get your, closing thoughts, what you're excited to see come next, especially on the Horizen side. Maybe if there's a little bit of alpha you want to drop on things that are upcoming, things to be excited about as part of the Horizen 2.0 upgrade as we kind of head into the new year and head into 2025.
Yeah, so we are pushing to have a test net ready in mid-January. We're looking to bring on a lot of projects or entice people to start building on there. I think that's the thing that I'm most looking forward to, is seeing things work in practice. We're also going to be doing more to the website and delivering more content there. So and just refining things. Like we took a very iterative approach with delivering the website, and the brand is not something that we just stopped working on. There's more to come. So yeah, that's kind of the thing that I'm looking forward to mostly right now.
Awesome. Thank you. And maybe I'll pass it over to Linda next for some closing thoughts.
Oh, closing thoughts. Okay. Whoever listens to this and haven't seen our new brand, please go and check our website out. Have a look and feel, get a look and feel of the brand and what we're trying to achieve. If you like it, amazing. If you're not sure, please give it a time. It will grow on you. And I think we're in the right path with the new brand for Horizen, and I'm really hoping it's going to succeed because it has all the tools at this point. So yeah, up and beyond.
Thank you.
And thanks to the team. They're amazing.
Thank you. Thanks, Linda. And over to Marko.
Yeah, as I'll echo Linda's statement, go check out the website. There will be upcoming updates to the website. We took an iterative approach. For example, the ecosystem page will have a dedicated developer page for all the information for the developers. So it's going to be rolling out in the following months. So keep an eye on it.
Thank you. And just to address one of the questions that came in, so as everyone kind of mentioned, the website is an iterative process. We're going to constantly release new information, and a big point of emphasis over the next month is going to be adding more information about the Horizen 2.0 upgrade. So more information to come for super node operators, forger node operators. We're going to put out a more detailed upgrade guide for everyone just to make sure all your questions are answered. And to wrap things up, thank you to Linda, Marko, and Dom for taking the time to walk us through this new website, this new brand. It's a really exciting time, and as everyone mentioned, we're really open to feedback. So please don't hesitate to jump into our Discord or the Telegram. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Most of the team is on there to provide support and to jump in wherever needed. So we're very open to feedback. And thank you all so much for joining today. And have a good rest of the week. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.